Last night, before you fell asleep, what did you do? Scrolled TikTok for 20 minutes? Checked Instagram one last time? Watched one more YouTube video that became four more YouTube videos? Maybe you put on a show you've already seen just to have background noise. And then, somewhere between the third episode and 2 a.m., you finally crashed. Now here's the question nobody asks. What did people do before all of that? Like, what did a human do in 50,000 BC when it was dark? They were tired, and there was absolutely nothing to look at. How did they fall asleep? And the answer, when you actually look at it, is going to make you feel very strange about your own bedroom. Part 1. The dark that we forgot. First, the darkness. For most of human history, night was not dim. It was not slightly dark with the glow of a streetlight outside. It was absolute, total, complete darkness. The kind of darkness that modern humans almost never experience, where you genuinely cannot see your hand in front of your face. And something interesting happens to the human brain in real darkness. Your body starts producing melatonin, the sleep hormone, almost immediately. Your heart rate drops. Your thoughts slow down naturally. Your brain was literally designed to fall asleep when it got dark. But today, the average American is exposed to enough artificial light at night to completely confuse their brain into thinking it's still afternoon. Your phone screen alone, at full brightness, tells your brain to stop producing melatonin. So you lie there, tired, but awake, waiting for sleep that your own body is actively blocking. Ancient humans didn't have this problem. The darkness did the work for them. Part 2. The two sleeps. Here's something that will genuinely surprise you. For most of human history, people didn't sleep for 8 straight hours. They slept in 2 separate chunks. Historians and sleep researchers discovered this by studying pre-industrial records, literature, and indigenous communities around the world. The pattern was remarkably consistent. People would fall asleep shortly after dark, sleep for about 4 hours. Then they would wake up naturally, for 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the night, then sleep again until dawn. That middle period, between the 2 sleeps, wasn't insomnia. It wasn't a problem. It was just life. People would talk to their family, pray, think quietly, have a small snack, sometimes visit neighbors. And then, naturally, they would drift back to sleep. Sleep researcher Roger Ekirch spent 16 years studying this pattern. He found references to the first sleep and second sleep in hundreds of historical documents, from Homer to medieval court records to Charles Dickens. This was just how humans slept, for thousands of years, until artificial light came along, and suddenly staying awake past dark became possible. And the 2 sleeps quietly disappeared from human culture. Almost nobody remembers they existed. Part 3. What they did instead. So if ancient humans weren't scrolling, what were they actually doing before sleep? The answer is almost embarrassingly simple. They talked. Anthropologists who have studied modern hunter-gatherer communities, groups whose lifestyle most closely resembles our ancient ancestors, found something fascinating. Nighttime conversation was completely different from daytime conversation. During the day, people talked about practical things: food, tools, tasks, where to go tomorrow. But at night, around the fire, the conversation shifted. Stories, myths, dreams, questions about life and death and what the stars meant. Researcher Polly Wiesner studied the Juhoansi people of southern Africa and found that nighttime talk was dominated by storytelling, up to 80% of evening conversation. That storytelling, those shared narratives, did something important for the brain. It processed the day. It made meaning out of experiences. It prepared the mind for sleep in a way that no sleep app has ever replicated. They weren't consuming stories, they were creating them, together, out loud. Part 4. Here is what I find most interesting about all of this. Ancient humans fell asleep better than we do. Not because they had some secret technique, but because they had nothing to distract them from being tired. Tiredness is natural. Sleep is natural. Your body knows exactly what to do. The problem isn't that you can't sleep. The problem is that you keep interrupting a process your body has been doing perfectly for 50,000 years. The darkness that ancient humans sat in, we fill with light. The silence they sat in, we fill with noise. The stillness they felt, we fill with scrolling. And then we wonder why sleep feels so hard. There is a concept in Zen philosophy called Wu Wei. It means effortless action, doing by not doing. Sleep is the most perfect example of Wu Wei that exists. You cannot force yourself to sleep. The harder you try, the more awake you become. You can only create the conditions and then get out of the way. Darkness, stillness, warmth, a quiet mind. Your body will do the rest. It has been doing it for 50,000 years. Ancient humans fell asleep without phones because they had something we've slowly lost. Permission to do nothing. No notifications to check, no shows to finish, no feeds to scroll, no pressure to be productive until the very last second of the day. When it got dark, life slowed down. The fire dimmed, the voices softened, the stories wound down. And sleep came, not because they forced it, but because they stopped fighting it. Tonight, try something small. Put the phone down 10 minutes earlier than usual. Sit in the dark for a moment. Don't fill the silence. And see what 50,000 years of human biology does when you finally get out of its way.